Okay, guys, it's been a long time since I've done one of these, but we're finally back to do more restaurant and store videos. And by store videos and restaurant videos, I mean reviews. I should have made that more clear. Yep, it's been a very long time since I've done one of these. I've been trying to get other videos caught up and all that, and all this has kind of been getting behind, but now I got pretty much everything all caught up. Now we can get back to this stuff. It's been a little while, and for the first time in a while, I figured I'm gonna go ahead and review Chuck E. Cheese. Now, I've already reviewed a Chuck E. Cheese before. I have done that in the past. In fact, the store video will also be something I want to re-review too. So it's probably not the greatest thing, to start off with, but I really want to talk about, these, and just because I haven't really done one of these in a while, so I guess there'll be more re-reviews than anything. So I'll probably, I don't know, Chuck E. Cheese might be a little bit different story, because Chuck E. Cheese will actually be something a little bit different, but, the store I'll be actually reviewing, that will be something, there's not going to be a bunch to talk about, so I don't know, I'll have to figure that out. But I think I might just put them in the same thing and all that. Also, I swear, this freaking Linky app, too, I swear, my videos has been popping up. If you guys don't know, it's like an AI thing and all. I was trying to experiment with, AI art for my DaVinci art, because I do have that, so you guys can check out that. That is for an older audience. I'm not doing it because I want to do it. I'm doing it because I want to make art for people, so, right now, I'm kind of just have a small selection of specific art, but I'll do, adult content, so, nude art, or, male and female characters both. Maybe weight gain art, and I guess, there's also giant characters. Apparently some people like giant characters, too, So, basically, fetish stuff. People have fetish for stuff, but I don't really care. Like I said, I don't care about it too much, and I've talked about before on my channel that I don't know if I'll be doing that, forever or not, but, because I want to do stuff that makes me happy, but, giving people what they want, makes me happy, so, but it's just not really my thing, so, that's kind of why I have that stuff. I actually am thinking about deleting this app, but I haven't decided yet. I couldn't get it to load, because I forgot what it was, but I swear I'm sick of it freaking popping up on my videos all the time. It decides to pop up for some reason when I pretty much record stuff, so I don't know, but I really don't even want to use AI, but I'm using that right now because I don't really have the time to be, drawing the stuff, so there's that. But also, you guys can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram as well. I'm still trying to work out the bugs with Twitter. I don't know, I can't figure out, I can't figure out where to post stuff, so, but I am trying to start posting stuff on them more too, I did post a thing on there, because I asked questions on my channel too. I have comments and all, but I'm doing it on Instagram too for you guys. So eventually I'm probably gonna upload my thumbnails on Instagram too, just because because YouTube zooms in a bunch of them, and I kind of want to show you guys the thumbnails. They might need to be edited because because they're zoomed in so much, I don't usually put a lot of effort into them, because I'm it's not really worth it, because not people are gonna see the whole thing. But now I'm gonna upload it on Instagram. Maybe I should. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But enough with the introductions. Let's go ahead and start the review. Let's talk about Chuck E. Cheese. So this Chuck E. Cheese is different than the other one, because this one is actually the 2.0 version, or 2.0 is, a lot of people just call it 2.0. So it is the current Chuck E. Cheese. Now there was another one before I think they call it the CE CEC, Chuck E. Cheese, I don't remember what it was called. That was the older one. They had different ones. Actually, Chuck E. Cheese in the last few decades has changed their appearance a lot, so they kind of been changing stuff up, which is kind of weird, and they change it so much. Usually restaurants, tend to keep something for a long time before they change it. I mean, McDonald's and Burger King and all that, they kept their same design, for a long time. I think they might have updated their dining rooms a bit, but they pretty much kept their art and all that on the outside before they went to those, boring looking, modern restaurants that look very boring and don't have, a theme to it anymore, but, I mean, they kind of didn't really have them inside after a while. They're like, that kind of phased out, but they still had them on the outside, but I don't know. But this came out the year that Star Wars came out too. I think. I'm pretty sure Star Wars came out in 1977. Let me check here, hold on. It's either 1997 or 1996, hold on. 1976, sorry. Wow. Okay, so it did come out in 1977. It actually came out a week later after Chuck E. Cheese did. That's freaking crazy. That is really crazy, how close they are together. So I guess even, May could be popular for Chuck E. Cheese as well. That is crazy, though. What's also crazy is Chuck E. Cheese is getting ready to celebrate another decade of them being in business. So I'm trying to figure out. So I'm trying to figure out how long would they have been in there though. I'm trying to figure that out. Let's see. 1987. That would be 10 years. 1997. That would have been 20. Okay, I think they're about to hit their 50th year of, being around. That's crazy. So them and Star Wars both are getting, up there with, stuff like that. So it's kind of crazy. I know people don't like Star Wars much anymore because, it was acquired by Disney, another company with another mouse, mascot, But you can't go wrong with the older Star Wars content. It definitely feels a lot, better and all that. But, but that said, though, I'm getting a little off topic here. I was going to say, Chuck E. Cheese, has been around for a while. And, of course, they've been struggling, as well. So a lot of their locations have been remodeling. Now, I don't know when they started remodeling their locations, because honestly, a lot of their locations, still had the older mascot, but they had they had the newer rat in the commercials. So I don't know when they started remodeling a bunch of them, but I do know when COVID hit, this is when they started kind of remodeling them. And I gotta say though, I have to admit, unlike a lot of other places that have remodeled, Chuck E. Cheese is remodeled. They actually put fucking effort into it. They put effort into it, I will say one thing. Now this is kind of a mixed opinion on people. And I'm gonna flat out say this. I don't like the animatronic characters. I think they're a little creepy, but I feel like they could have still had the stages in their restaurants and all that. I think some locations are gonna keep it, I believe, but a lot of them are getting rid of their electronics. They're moving on to the newer generations, but that's they're animatronics in their band and stages where that was a big thing for a long time. Now I guess maybe they're changing it up because maybe it's they're trying to freshen things up because they've been losing money. I don't know. Maybe they're thinking it creeps out people, but I'm just it kind of takes away, something. It's like when McDonald's got rid of Ronald McDonald. I'm like, the whole point of Ronald McDonald, he was supposed to not creep people out. He was supposed to, like, give people, make people, have fun and smile and all that, and because a few people complain about it, because I didn't hear a lot of people bitching about Ronald McDonald. I knew a lot of people do not like clowns, but hell, I even brought that up as like clowns are scary except for Ronald McDonald. He's fine, and a lot of people, agreed. A lot of people are like, yeah, because that's the whole point of Ronald. He was supposed to be, like that, but I think because there was a few complaints, I feel like they kind of just took that away. But that was like the fucking mascot of McDonald's here. With Chuck E. Cheese doing it, it's like, yeah, the animatronics are gone, which is definitely a big part of Chuck E. Cheese. But, they're still keeping them in some locations. So they're not, like, going out of their way to get rid of all of them. At least as of right now, as recording this, they're not doing that. Also, the thing is, though, is, they still have a mascot. They still have the characters. It's really interesting, And if you go inside there, I like that they have like a little dance floor you can play on and all, or you can dance on. You can see them on screen on the TV, like they're puppets, It's pretty nice, and you still get somebody who goes and dresses up. They just dress up as the newer mascot, So they still like put effort into it, And heck, you can still have birthday parties there. They have a ticket machine. Although, apparently some locations will not let older people go into the ticket machine, because I wanted to do that. I couldn't go in the ticket machine, because apparently only certain locations can do that, which doesn't make any sense, but, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, the restaurants, at least put effort into it. Or like McDonald's, Burger King, and all these like fast food places, they're freaking boring. They're freaking boring. They don't have any uniqueness anymore. It really sucks. It really sucks how boring they are. Now they used to be really good. And that's kind of the problem. They kind of cheaped out and all that, and that's kind of costing them some problems. They're probably lucky at places like Chuck E. Cheese aren't in more than like a few locations. Because I bet you that a lot more people would probably go to Chuck E. Cheese more than anything. I guess to be fair, Chuck E. Cheese, I guess, is more expensive, I will say, than a fast food place. So maybe they wouldn't go there all the time, but like, I think a lot of people would probably choose like Chuck E. Cheese over Burger King or McDonald's, though, any day. I guess to be fair, though, Chuck E. Cheese has more pizza than anything, but I think you can get other food that are besides pizza and all that, So I just don't think, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm saying if they were more popular, I think it could probably take stuff away, like it could probably even take Papa John's and other pizza joints away. I think it probably would do that, like. I don't know. I just don't know. But I've been into these places that a lot of times there are a lot of kids in here and all. They have fun, So clearly, there's something there. Actually, I had somebody, working there. He was pretty nice and all. I still need to figure out how to, I think he gave me something. He wrote me something down. Like, I don't know if it was a channel he had or something. I don't remember, but I keep forgetting to look at it, but, things have been very crazy, so yeah, I haven't got around to doing that, but, yeah, I need to get to doing that, but, I don't know, I don't remember his name, but he was one of the people helping me out with some stuff in there, because, there are some problems with these remodeled, locations, too, although they look very entertaining and nice, one thing I'm gonna say I don't like is Chuck E. Cheese anymore. They now use these cards. So they use these instead of using tokens, they use these cards. So a lot of their machines don't work like they're supposed to. They kind of mess up and all that, and it's a lot more confusing. To be fair though, a lot of arcade places are doing that. They're like switching from tokens to cards. But the problem is it makes it a huge pain in the ass, I feel like, because it's like you gotta swipe it, and sometimes I feel it's kind of more confusing than just simply putting a damn token into the card. I'm sure it's something you could probably get used to, but I'm like, why can't we just have tokens, I don't understand why that's a problem, There actually is a token machine, in some of these Chuck E. Cheese's I've been into them. I've only been into like 2, so I don't know all about them, but I do know that they do have them in there and all that. They have some tokens in there, and I've gotten me quite a bit of them. So I got me quite a bit of Chuck E. Cheese tokens. I did. It was pretty nice. It was definitely pretty nice. But yeah, I got me some Chuck E. Cheese tokens and all that, but I don't remember if I showed them off on my channel or not when I was showcasing that stuff. I don't know, but I don't actually think I uploaded the video yet either. I don't know if I've uploaded it or not. I need to go back and figure out what I've uploaded and what I need to still upload, I don't know. I gotta figure that out, but I did get a bunch of tokens from there, but that's the thing. I had to have this random guy help me out with all this stuff because it was just a pain. I was having a lot of problems with a lot of the machines, and this is something that could get fixed as time goes on. Because I think this is more a newer thing, but still, I'm that kind of takes away the experience, using cards over freaking tokens. But to be fair, though, that's kind of what the world's kind of becoming, We have, people using more cards and less coins and all that. I do still see some people using cash, but it's becoming less and less of a thing, It's kind of annoying, because, good cards and all that, I feel like you risk more, well, not right now, but I feel like in the future, I feel like I'm gonna risk more on my stuff getting stolen, I actually do have a video to talk about that because there is something, major that has happened with the coins and all that, but I'll talk about that, in another video. But I talked about that I was going to take a little bit of a break, so I had time to upload other stuff too, so, yeah. But that said, though, yeah, I don't know. I don't really, like I said, I don't really care for that gimmick too much. And then we got another thing I don't like. I talked about the mascot. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. He's grown on me a little bit, but he still looks, he still doesn't look like, I still think he's a downgrade to where he was in the 2000s and all that. I think the 90s and 2000s had the best Chuck E. Cheese. Well, by the 2000s, the 90s, late 90s. Because before that, I feel like his design looked a little bit more creepy, So I'm kind of glad they kind of toned his design down a little bit. They made him look less creepy, Also, I guess technically Chuck E. Cheese, he used to be, Chucky used to be like a rat before they turned him into a mouse. I'm not sure why they changed that, but I guess they did. Because he was a rat originally, which I think is why he had a longer snout. But yeah, now he looks more, he doesn't look as unique. But that's the thing, though, he doesn't look awful. Yeah, at first when he appeared, I was just not the biggest fan of him at all. I'm still not the biggest fan, but I don't hate him as bad as I did at first. I think because I'm kind of used to his newer design, but I definitely don't think it's as good as his older one. I think he looked a lot more, hip-hop, with his, the way he was, dressed and all that. I just think he looked a lot better. This Chuck E. Cheese, he looks absolutely nothing like, his original, self. It's like I said, if they, said Disney changed their Mickey Mouse mascot, to a completely different design or something, or They did the same thing with like SpongeBob. They completely, I mean, even SpongeBob, they've changed his looks a little bit throughout the years, but he still kept his same look. Chucky, is the mascot of Chuck E. Cheese, and he doesn't even look like himself anymore. He looks completely different, And I'm just not the biggest fan of that, I'm just not, But I'm just not the biggest fan of it. And I mean, yeah, it can be a little, like I said, it can be a little expensive to go here too, but I don't think it's horribly expensive, but yeah, it is kind of expensive to go there and all that, but I think they give you a lot of games and all that, and I think it's worth the money, it's not like going to a theme park or something, where they overcharge you and all that, I feel like it's a very reasonable price, but I wouldn't probably say you should take your kids there every day, but I feel like if you want your kids to have fun or get out of your hair so you and your boyfriend or husband or like a girlfriend or something, can do just want to chat, your kids could probably go here, I definitely think it's better than the freaking modern McDonald's and all these other fast food and restaurants in general. I feel like they just don't have the spark that, this one, did. I feel like if they put more effort into it and brought crap like this back, I want to see McDonald Land come back to McDonald's again. Bring back McDonald Land. I actually didn't even get to grow up with that, and I really want that, I want McDonald Land. I want to have the Birdie, the Grimace, and, Ronald, and all the characters, and, in McDonald's again, that was fun, Now they're just, they're just, they look boring, they're they're not very colorful anymore, it really sucks, That's the thing with Chuck E. Cheese. Like I said, Chuck E. Cheese, at least they put more effort into it. I had a lot more fun going here than I did at McDonald's anymore. And that's saying something because like I said, I had problems with the card games and all. I mean, the cards and all, and the games, but I still was able to play a lot of them. But I had to keep asking for help, which is kind of annoying. But again, I think it's just something that's brand new, so it's probably gonna, take time to get used to. But I think eventually, it probably will get better with that. But who knows? It's been a couple years since I went, so maybe it got better now. I don't know, but. That said, though, before I let the video go, we got to give it a score. I'm definitely gonna give this one a good. Yeah, I think this one definitely deserves a good. I think this one's definitely one of the remodels that actually feels like they put some effort into it and all that. I really do like that. It's really nice and all that. Unfortunately, though, I'll have to give this one 77 points. Yeah, I figured this is a good opportunity to give it 77 points. I was actually thinking about, what score do I want to give it? Because I was thinking, maybe, I didn't give it 77 points just because, the year, because I thought that was pretty funny, pretty ironic, with the Star Wars thing and all that. Because I actually even looked it up, and yeah, it's pretty ironic. But I gave it 77 points and not lower because, here's the thing, though, is I don't think it's that, the changes are that bad. But like I said, I missed the part where you can, have tokens, you can have tokens and all that in the machines, and then I don't really like the new mascot as much. I don't get it. I still don't get, I really hate that. I hate how all these freaking arcade places are going to these stupid cards. I'm just let this freaking go back to damn tokens. I don't know, tokens are so much better. They're so much better, I guess that'd be fair on the bright side. At least you can actually, buy tokens now. You can just buy them out of the machine if you win them. Of course, if they work. Apparently, some of them, I don't really work very well. They kind of just there to, troll people, claw machines and all that. But, I don't know. But But like I said, I just freaking hate that, and I hate that like the remodel. Like I don't hate the remodel Chucky as much as I used to, or as bad as the card thing. I just don't like it as much. But that's the thing, though. There's really not really much else I could say is really wrong with this. I definitely think I definitely think this is a much better experience today going to like I said a restaurant really anymore. A lot of them are just so boring now. Like I keep saying this. I'm like, bring back attraction stuff. Like if you're worried about losing money and all that, bring back this kind of crap. Like dude, what Chuck E. Cheese did. Like bring back stuff people want. I mean. Yeah, I'll say they took away, the animatronics, which kind of sucked, for people who like him. I'm not one of them, but I know people did. But that's the thing, though. They could have, they could have, they could keep the animatronic, or they could, like McDonald's or something can bring back McDonald Land, and Burger King could have their kid club, thing again. I mean, I guess with Burger King, at least they kind of are throwing back stuff a little bit. They brought back their older logo, and then they also, a lot of their play areas are still colorful and all that, and even their commercials, they have the Burger King guy in it, and then they have, like the BK commercial song ad too. So clearly they're trying a little bit, but their dining rooms still kind of lack a bit what they used to have. But I mean that's the thing though, they can still do all that, and I said even McDonald's, they can change up the places a little bit, add more color to it. Maybe let's say McDonald's could add maybe make their walls they can make their walls white, maybe make their furniture, they can make their furniture, they can make their furniture or maybe their chairs could be red, their tables could be yellow, or the other way around, They could do all this stuff, they could. That's the problem, though. They just won't do that, That's the problem. That's kind of what's going on there, but I don't know, but that's the thing, though. Hopefully maybe they'll learn like this and all that and maybe make things better, but we'll just have to see. For right now, though, I gotta make food, so I'll let you guys go. See you guys later. Bye-bye.